bodhisattva is a being which has attained a very high level of spiritual knowledge, and who is extremely close to the achievement of enlightenment, but who, out of immense compassion, voluntarily postpones the ultimate nirvana in order to help all other sentient beings reach salvation. Every action of the bodhisattva has but one sole purpose, to help and serve others. Bodhisattvas exist in many realms, including here on earth, but they are not limited to human form. They may also take the form of animals or even the tiniest insects. The bodhisattva vows to remain within samsara, to be born over and over again in an endless cycle of suffering until all beings have attained the ultimate wisdom of nirvana. It is said the heavens are filled with numerous bodhisattvas who aid in the welfare of all creatures. They are even believed to come down from the heavens to assist those on earth who are in need or in danger. Because of their innumerable acts of virtue and altruism, the bodhisattva has accumulated immeasurable amounts of merit, known in Sanskrit as punya, which is used by the bodhisattva for the benefit of all sentient beings. They may give this merit to others, and they also possess the ability to transfer the sufferings and afflictions of others onto themselves. The path of the bodhisattva begins with the thought of enlightenment, which develops into a resolve to attain enlightenment for the welfare of all beings. This is known as the arising of the bodhisattva, the desire to reach enlightenment for one's own sake and for the sake of all those who suffer. This process begins with the accumulation of merit, punya, and knowledge, prajna, combined with devotion, bhakti, as well as lifetimes of spiritual practice. Following this, the bodhisattva enters a stage in which he possesses a quality known as adimukti. This is when he is fearful of pain and suffering and is not yet prepared to suffer for the sake of others. He still holds imperfections, but once purified, he will complete the first stage, bodhisattva, upon which all of the sins from his past lives will be cancelled, and he will go on to have happy rebirths, as well as an abundance of spiritual merit and virtues. The next step is called pranidhana, taking the bodhisattva vows. Some of these vows are general, and others are more specific. They include helping others when in need, acting in ultimate compassion, becoming pure, and eventually leading all beings to nirvana. These vows are said to take anywhere from 3 to 33 incalculable eons to complete. The path of the bodhisattva also consists of developing certain perfections called paramitas, and also passing through 10 stages known as bhumis. The 10 paramitas include generosity, virtuous conduct, patience, energy, rapt musing, wisdom, skillfulness in the choice for conversation, resolution, strength, and knowledge. The bodhisattva then must pass through the 10 stages known as bhumis. During the 7th bhumi, the bodhisattva undergoes a fundamental transformation through which he gains ultimate understanding of the paramita of wisdom by having fully grasped the nature of sunyata, emptiness. Finally, after carrying out the 10th and final bhumi, the bodhisattva then becomes a tathagata, a fully perfect being. The word bodhisattva was first used by Gautama Buddha, referring to himself prior to his enlightenment. Quote, "In the days before my enlightenment, when I was yet only a bodhisattva," unquote. The bodhisattva ideal has arisen from the influence of two major developments that had begun to take place in early Buddhism. The first is the Bhakti movement. Bhakti is one of the single most important aspects of Indian religious life, and early Buddhists began to aim their deep-rooted feelings of devotion towards the late Gautama Buddha. The growth of Bhakti movement may also have been influenced by the atmosphere of ancient India during the time in between the fall of the Mauryas and the retreat of the Kusanas. This period saw the presence of foreign invaders in India, and the overlying sense of fear and panic amongst citizens triggered the growing need for bhakti in a time of instability. Eventually, however, the Buddha became idealized and could not easily be approached with prayer and worship because he had become too great and incomprehensible for such relations. This led to the personification of Gautama's virtues in the form of bodhisattvas. For example, the bodhisattva Manjukri is the personification of wisdom, and Avalokitesvara is the embodiment of compassion. Some scholars also argue that the early religion known as Zoroastrianism may have influenced the origin of the bodhisattva. Early Zoroastrians put forward the idea of an all-wise Lord who dwelled in the heavens and was assisted by numerous ministers, which were personifications of certain Zoroastrian virtues. One can easily draw parallels between this all-wise Lord and the Buddha, and between the ministers and the bodhisattvas, both of which are manifestations of spiritual virtues. The Zoroastrian religion also served to influence Buddhism through its cult of sun worship. Numerous Mahayana deities give reference to sun worship. For example, Amitabha means measureless light. Dipankara means light maker. The Buddha has been referred to as Aditya Bandhu, meaning kinsman of the sun, and various bodhisattvas have been given solar attributes. Another factor leading to the development of the bodhisattva is the fact that around this time, India was a melting pot of cultures and people from all different backgrounds, most of which practiced tribal religions and already worshipped cult deities. The Mahayanists endeavored to convert these groups to Buddhism, and in doing so had to tolerate polytheism. It's possible that early cult deities became bodhisattvas. The appearance of the bodhisattva has changed the face of Buddhism in a number of ways. As the bodhisattva gained popularity amongst Buddhists, the value once placed upon Buddhas gradually shifted towards an increasing importance of bodhisattvas. The effect is that the former Mahayana goal of attaining enlightenment became replaced by the attainment of ultimate compassion through service to others, like that of the bodhisattva. Another shift took place due to the influence of bodhisattvas in Buddhism, this time amongst two virtues. The earlier importance of wisdom became replaced by the importance of compassion. This is reflected in the scriptures, in that earlier texts seem to glorify Manjukri, the bodhisattva of wisdom, whereas later Buddhist texts emphasize Avalokitesvara, the bodhisattva of compassion. The bodhisattva ideal became a prevailing influence for the greater vehicle, not only by helping to spread Buddhism, but also by spreading love and compassion amongst all people, and for having generated in us a sense of duty to one another in times of need.